Its official name is the Victoria Museum Building, but we know it as the Museum of Nature. The structure has a strong European influence and merits its nickname, the Castle. But within these brick walls and arched windows lies a lot of history. And as the story goes,
every castle has some ghost stories.
It was rumored the architect of the building, David Ewart, was the ghost to be stalking the museum. Upset that the massive tower he built had to be taken down because it was separating from the building.
The architect was so distraught over that perhaps he had killed himself in his spirit. Now, that was later shown not to be true.
With him out, who is haunting these halls? Some believe it could be a former prime minister. The museum became an emergency headquarters for the Canadian government after a fire destroyed the Parliament buildings in 1916.
And when Sir Wilfrid Laurier died in 1919, his body actually lay in state here because the centre block wasn't rebuilt. So right away you have perhaps a setting.
Another theory, the spirits left behind by the many exhibits that passed through.
At one point there were mummies in the basement when it was part of the Museum of Man, which is now Museum of Civilization.
So they could be creeping around.
Exactly, a lot of human artifacts.
So is it old spirits who lurk these halls, or is it Canada's 8th Prime Minister who people see?
One night, one of the administrative staff here in the museum saw what she described as a hollow outline of a man shrouded in fog. She watched in horror in the mirror in the reflection as this figure passed directly through her. And she said at that moment she felt extreme heat, unable to move.
Really?
The figure vanished.
Wow.
And it's not just the museum staff who have seen these ghosts.
Several customers came up to her to say that they had this feeling as they were really being watched while she was telling that final story, and they described the exact location where she had also seen the shadow.
The Museum of Nature is offering haunted tours until Friday. The 90-minute tour will take you to locations where strange occurrences have taken place. Just be careful, because you never know who's watching. Melissa Lamb, CTV News.